All right, class. Now let's take a look at text files. So if I click over to this tab, which is the text file uploader page, right? Then I've got a stack layout here with a label at the top, which says, hey, text upload and download. Yep, that looks right. We've got a label for entering the text and then an editor right underneath that. And then a button underneath that, which is right here, which says upload, and we do the on upload button click. So let's pass something here. So it's like hello from Mr. Wolski. All right, I'll click the upload button. We got our little spinning wheel, and now we are ready to download that if we want to. So once I click download, there we go. It's downloaded the data. Hello from Mr. Wolski. And of course, let's prove to ourselves that we didn't just copy and paste from this text field to that, because that would be pretty easy to do, right? So let's look at the CS file. Okay, so the first thing we notice is that, oh yeah, we've got a string and we're saving the name. So similar to how we had in the image example, right? Once we actually upload this file, we get the name back because we're using the exact same method. Upload file async. This is what we used for the images as well. So it returns the name. Right now it's randomly generating it. And again, we could modify this upload file async to either pass it a name or to have another class that generates names for us in a more reasonable way. But for now, we're generating names randomly. So we have to store it afterwards because we'll have no idea what that name is since it's being generated randomly. And the other difference between the images and the text files is that how we encode them to a byte array. So with our text files, it's quite easy. We just have this encoding.utf8, and then we use the getBytes method. We pass it the string, which in this case is the upload editor.text. Right? That's the string that we pass in, and then we get a byte data from that, and then that's what we pass into our upload file async in this new memory stream. And again, otherwise this is very, very similar to the images example. And once it's done, we enable the download button and we stop the spinning wheel from running. And then when we click the download button, we make sure that that file name has indeed been specified so that, that this has been run before we try to retrieve it. We set the spinning wheel to running again, and this time we get the file async, and this is again the exact same method we used for the images, right? Because it's really just using byte arrays. And we get the byte data, which is byte array, and then the nice thing is that we have this encoding.utf8.getString, which we can use. So this is another method. We just pass it the byte data, and it pops out the text in a string format that we can then assign to the download editor, right, which was the second editor down in the page, download editor. It didn't have anything in it at the beginning, but then we fill it with this text. And that's basically it. Yeah, so that is saving text files back and forth, and you can probably imagine that it would be pretty easy to retrofit this a little bit and use it to save JSON data, right? Because really JSON just strings. JSON files are just strings, and we've been using the Newtonsoft.json. We've already serialized and deserialized from JSON strings into objects, and from objects back into strings. And it would be pretty easy to modify this only slightly and be able to upload and download JSON string data. However, it's actually easier to do that with NoSQL databases because they're already kind of set up for JSON data. So that's why I have part B for this week, where you see an example of an app that actually uses a NoSQL database to store JSON files. So yeah, that's it for uploading and downloading text files.